Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Talking Horses. Andy Serling in the clubhouse studio here at the Big A. The Big A, Anthony Stabile, coming off a big day yesterday. His ego is even bigger after yesterday than it was before. Hard as that is to believe. We'll head in today's 9-race card, a fun card to talk about. Looking forward to talking about it with Anthony, but quickly, head over to Naira Bets. If you're not a member, we'll match up a $200 deposit. Use the promo code, speaking of which, the Big A promo code. We're offering a 50-50 deposit, a special bonus. If you bet 50 at Aqueduct and Oaklawn on the app only, you'll get a $10 bonus. And of course, you'll want to watch some of the Oaklawn Stake. Today, we have shows today and Monday from 6 to 7:30 today. And then we're on Monday as well, I think 4 to 6:30. Today we'll be showing Risen Star, stakes from around the country, Oaklawn, Santa Anita, as well as your favorite race, the El Camino. Is the El Camino
No,
Royale?
today is the Santa Monica.
No,
the El Camino Royale, yeah.
Please.
You're right.
Please.
Sorry.
The Cross Country Pick 5 every Saturday. Aqueduct 7th, which is an interesting race. Tampa Bay race 8, the Pelican, going over to Tampa for race 9, Oaklawn's race 6, and then closing it out with a stake at Tampa. So 5 races. That starts 3:55. It's a little over an hour, so get involved in that as well. Cross Country Pick 5. As we mentioned, Anthony's here.
Hi.
Anthony, let's get right to work.
Okay, Andy.
I don't think it's any surprise that you and I both have the horse who will not be 2-1 like he is on the board right now, and that's the 6 Wandering West. And wanted to show Wandering West in quite a bit of this horse's debut, and this was last September down at Delaware, because Carol Cedeno, who's riding this horse, she earned her pay. I mean, if you had bet this horse at this point, when Carol's flailing away with a half mile to go, and the horse can't even keep up, you just said, well, let me rip those tickets up. And actually, this horse was 4-5 going to the gate, ended up 6-5, and you're thinking, well, the money knew. And the race appears to be coming apart. But the interesting thing about it is, Anthony, the race gets a very solid enough, I should say, 64 buyer. And if you look it up, it's a very legitimate number. This horse broke 3/4 slow. The question becomes, and it's obviously been 5 months since that race, or nearly 5 months, has Jason Service got this horse a little bit more professional and managed to get a little speed in this horse, which is one of his strong suits. And one of the reasons he's such a successful trainer is he has an innate ability to get speed into horses off the claim at different times. Because this horse still ran respectively with nothing but greenness and just sort of issue. And this horse, to me, you wouldn't have been surprised if you just didn't see the figure and you saw that race and you looked, you said, yeah, I bet the horse ran great. It was probably a 38 buyer. You know what I mean? The fact that it was a decent number suggests this horse could have some actual talent.
Yeah, I mean, in that race, which is being run, mid-September of the 2-year-old year, that race
beats this field.
Will beat this field like a drum. 16 tons is the one race.
Well, there are firsters. I suppose Patrol, who was the $350,000 firster.
But they're gonna, if this horse improves, and like you said, now with the 5 months between starts, if Jason's tightened the screws a little bit and has this horse more readier second time out, and the speed, and there's a little more speed there, one of these firsters is going to have to really jump up and run a big race.
I'm scared of 16 tons. I think that horse is going to run well today. Linda got awfully aggressive and comes right back in here, shortening up. And I think 16 tons is a little bit dangerous here. The horse has a fast race first time out.
Yeah.
Patrol, the firster, is a tough one. This is a 3rd foal. The first 2 foals did no running. They paid a lot of money for this horse at the Keeneland sale, presumably a good workout. The Dam was more of a turf and synthetic horse, though, but you've got Liam's map. I don't know what to expect.
Horse started his training out in California at San Luis Rey.
I wonder who had this horse originally. I guess it was Gary Barber, right?
Yeah, ERJ Racing is Eric Johnston from the Colorado Avalanche, so he has a lot of horses with Doug O'Neill. I don't know how this horse wound up. He was down in...
Do you think maybe Doug's brother bought this horse, maybe in one day?
Down in Ocala. It was down in Ocala.
Maybe Mark bought it, though.
Yeah.
He might have.
I don't know. Yeah, that's this horse had a very curious trip to the Big A, from San Luis Rey to Ocala to the Big Apple.
Race number 2. I'm going to start out by saying I don't like inclination in this race, and you and I saw this race very differently. Here's inclination's last race. I'm not saying he can't win, but talk about seizing defeat from the jaws of victory.
Yeah, Overbold is going to come with a little bit of a re-rally here for my man Tom Morley. You ever think you'd say the words Overbold and re-rally in the same sentence? Yeah.
You know, I didn't, especially in the dirt.
Yeah. Now, and they're 10 in front of Mayam and Gina, who's not going to play today. But I mean, when you beat a field like this by 10, more often than not, it's with the more inexperienced horses. It's with the younger horses. You're impressed by that. This you could just say was survival of the fittest. I don't know, but I have to use the horse based on the fact that he beat the same horses as the rest of them by 10.
I've got him third. I'm not a fan. You've got Split Verdict, who I have second off a long layoff. Have at it.
I'm just taking a little bit of a shot that this horse needed the race. It was going 3/4. Now the horse is going to stretch out
I'm sure
to
the horse
mile.
needed the race. The question is, how much did he get out of it?
You see some of these horses this winter that have come back, and he looked like, and he ran like he needed a race.
I don't disagree.
And now he's going to stretch out to the mile. And
I didn't think they beat him up too much in that race.
I agree. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, I think he needed the race. He got the race. Now he goes back to the mile.
So you don't have Bronxville.
I don't like Bronxville
4.
going long, my friend.
Well, he is loose in the lead, and he has run respectively going long in the past. What is wrong with some of his routes in the past? And he wasn't even able to get the lead in those races, and he still ran reasonably. His race 2 back shows he's got some good form. I actually thought he ran reasonably well in that race, and I'm going to take Bronxville to wire this field.
Okay.
I think Kendrick's just got to do what he did yesterday.
Kendrick had a good day yesterday.
And I'll take my chances that he can wire the field.
Kendrick could have got up in the second race yesterday. It could have been Canasta around here yesterday.
Race number 3, we have the same pick. Why did you pick the 6 Little Song? And this race was changed from the 7 Gilda Marie, who I wasn't a big fan of, came out.
Yeah, wasn't a fan of Gilda Marie off the last effort. I did have.
Why do we like Little Song?
I did have her 4th. You're going to yell at me here because the races are around the 2 turns.
You think that horse yesterday needed more distance?
I think that horse yesterday needed a break.
That horse got left.
Yeah,
I think she actually ran fine.
It's a different story. It's probably a different story. I have to be honest with you. I picked this horse today for the worst reason you could pick a horse.
What?
I didn't like the rest.
Well,
and I think that's a bad reason to pick a horse.
Let's discuss some actual reasons to like this horse. And I don't disagree. I'm not throwing the rest either.
Yeah.
This horse is a private purchase by Gumster Stable. Something you should have known because you are actually friendly with them.
Are we sure about that? Because Kieran McGee has horses for Andy.
Unless this horse, and maybe Andy will text you or something, but unless this is a horse that was running under a different name. This horse was not running under Gumster Stable at Penn. I assume they run under Gumster at Penn.
Sure. I mean, he has plenty of horses at Parks.
No, this horse is not running under Gumster at Penn unless I badly misread it.
Could have bought the horse because State Bred has all the conditions. Yeah.
I mean, this looked like a horse they bought there in their trainer, and they said, we got a New York bred running here, and to buy it here, and I agree. I don't want Freddie Mo Factors. Freddie Mo Factors named after my friend, Freddie Mo.
Yeah, we all love Freddie. But that was a hungry bunch last time.
That was a hungry bunch. I don't like that horse. I think Fight on Lucy's dangerous. Near horse you have second. I'm not convinced she wants a mile, but I thought she was somewhat dangerous. I don't think Today Comes Once is totally impossible. Second off a layoff for Gary Contessa. This horse did a little bit of running last time and might benefit from stretching out. But I agree. I don't want anybody else.
Yeah, that was really. I wish I had a better tactical reason for you guys, but that was. I don't really want.
The owner was Helen Marshall.
Okay.
So unless Andy, maybe that's the name he goes by in Pennsylvania.
He doesn't.
I'm going to guess that it was a private purchase.
He doesn't. Right away.
Well, it's a reasonable question.
I just found it odd because Kieran does train
horses.
Well,
I thought that too, and I was thinking, I bet this horse isn't, but you have to look it up anyway, and I agree with you. Mm-hmm. I think it was the angle of seeing a New York bred running there, and that's why they bought the horse, and they are sharp. Race number 4, 7 furlongs. I'm going to take Sharp Star, the horse, in this race. It'll be interesting to see how this race gets played. This horse could get over bet in here. I'm going to say this horse was very green first time out. And I don't disagree with David Aragona. This is a race that may be a little bit better than the ultimate final figure suggests. I know Nikki Scissors won under very, very helpful circumstances in his second start, or her second start. But still, I don't think this was that bad a race.
I agree. Listen, I feel like of the contenders in here, I put this horse 4th because I feel like of the contenders in here, this is the one that's going to offer the least value, if you will. I think this horse is going to be the favorite today.
I think it's going to be close.
I think this horse is going to be favorite today. And I just went to the horse that I feel like has the best fast track race, and that's the 2 Banker's Daughter, who I don't really think she liked a little moisture in the ground last time.
There was so little moisture.
I know, but I just don't think she liked it, Andy. I'll be honest with you.
I think the reason to like Banker's Daughter, frankly, off her last race, is not the moisture. It has nothing to do with that, in fact. This horse was on a probable dead rail last time.
Okay.
That's the actual reason to like this horse. There's no evidence the rail was bad that day. but the riders certainly stayed off of it. So there's a possibility it wasn't necessarily the best place to be. I'm a little bit dubious of it, and that's why I didn't put the horse on top, because I'm not sure the rail was bad. If I was sure the rail was bad, I would think this horse was close to a cinch in this race, and a race 2 back obviously is fast enough to win here. She did lose to Aubrey Tate, though.
She did. But you know what? The other thing is, stretching out to the 7 now, she might be on the lead today.
Well, she's supposed to be, isn't she? And having the party, the two speeds.
I think it's yeah. I think it's a little hard to.
This one you actually got right.
Kind of decipher that with these horses because they're young, they're inexperienced. You know what I mean?
Isn't the
change of tactics?
Isn't the 4 likely to have more speed second time out? I'm not saying it's going to be in front,
right?
But I think she's going to be far more forwardly placed.
Yeah,
here.
Be curious to see. Be curious. Linda has the first one here. Stones have it. They usually have more speed second time out. So
others to talk about, the number 7 Dancing Kiki, who sort of always gets there and has a chance. And you've got, as you say, Stone Zapper, the second time star. The one thing I'll say, this horse was a bit against it last time out. It's a big speed track last time, and I think the 9 is very dangerous. Stone Zapper. I wouldn't be surprised if Stone Zapper's favored either.
You alluded to that with the Nikki Scissors having the help on the front end with the way the track was playing that day. And now she gets the extra 16th of a mile. She's second time Linda. She's going to make a lot of sense. Again, I'm going to use all 4 of them in my early pick 4 and early pick 5. But I'm going to try and get the horse who I think is going to be, along with Dancing Nick, they'll probably be the 2 best prices.
I don't see Dancing Kiki beating this.
Okay.
I don't agree with you. Banker's Daughter is not going to be a big price. I don't think Dancing Kiki.
I think she'll be a bigger price than the 4 and 9.
It's pretty close.
Okay.
It's pretty close. I think Charlotte Webley is dangerous here, the first-time starter for Jeremiah Englehart. I just think his horses are dangerous. I know it's an alpha, but Manny Franco rides, and I could conceivably use that horse. And I don't see how Dancing Kiki is going to beat all of Banker's Daughter, Sharp Star, and Stone Zapper. At least one of them
you might be right.
are going to beat this horse, if not all of them. I'll take my chance against her. She'd be no better to see for me. Race number 5. I'm very curious how they bet race number 5. We'll take a look at Becca's Takes Charge, who could be the favorite off her easy win last time. And we'll show you a stat. Linda has very, very good numbers off of maiden wins and dirt sprints, particularly in claiming races. This horse is not much worse, though, Anthony.
Isn't it hard to take this horse as the likely favorite in here today? I mean, it is for me. I mean, she beat a couple of horses that,
I agree.
Little camera shot. You got to
she could
protectively.
Win. She could win, but I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
I'm with you, buddy.
And it's the Crossroads race. It's all the late and early.
She might
pick
win.
5.
Linda signs a step forward, but she's. I mean, I know Linda's got great numbers, and this suggests these horses are paying $7, so they're kind of taking a step forward off of their maiden wins and cheaper races even. So maybe she can do it. Where'd you go on top in this race?
I went to the 8 Orbalicious, who I think
she ran big last time. Woo! Did she run big?
Yeah. Well, don't you think that she was kind of against it last time?
No.
No.
No. The rail was actually very good, and she was right smack dab on the rail. So no, actually, I don't think she was against it at all. I think she was just brutal.
I'm hoping she needed the race off the April break.
And they rode her awfully hard in that race.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping she needed the race off the break. I don't know. Listen, this was the race I had the toughest time with
I just
today.
don't know if she's that much worse. See, I actually like this race.
Really?
Yes, I actually think there are 2 horses that are very interesting.
This was my 5th.
And I'm going to take it. I'd take my chances with one of them, and they're both fair enough prices. One of them is the 2 It's a Chance. It's a Chance actually ran extremely well last time. He just totally ran off going a mile in that race. And the interesting thing about it is, it's kind of the first time she's shown that much life since her very scintillating debut.
That was a debut also. She opened 9-5 that day, you remember?
She did. I agree. I used her because she took so much early money that day. Well, she's a half to that nice New York bred that runs at Finger Lakes, but occasionally comes to New York. David likes that horse. Maybe he'll text me the horse's name. And I think it's a great turn back. So you've got this horse showed life last time, now cuts back to a more appropriate distance, and I think It's a Chance is extremely dangerous here. But I also like the number 5 Summer Fantasy. Now, Summer Fantasy may have to deal with dazzling speed and find a way to rate, but also, I don't know why Jeremiah was so convinced she wanted to go long. Now, I guess the thing was that she won that race, or she ran well 3 races back. He's got very, very good turnback number. Winston's Chance is the horse, by the way. He's got very good turnback numbers, Jeremiah, at Naira in particular. And this horse, what chance did she have the last 2 races she was in contentious pace duels? And it's nice to see Mike Luzzi riding this horse as well. I think one of these 2 horses is going to prove very dangerous.
Okay. I think my biggest problem with that, they're going to have to deal with each other.
Who?
Well, I mean, it's a chance if she, like you said, she woke up last time.
No, she's not fast enough to run with Summer Fantasy or Dazzling Speed, depending on how those horses are ridden. So I'm going to have to hope she can rate behind them. We'll see.
Yeah.
I just don't want anybody else in this race. They're the ones I want. I think you can make a case for either one of them. Race number 6 is a bring-back race, and I wish they had thrown this race in the garbage, because it's actually a good betting race. I had no idea who was going to win it when they ran it last Friday. I have no idea who's going to win it today, Anthony. We'll start with Win with Pride, whose video I started with. I know you picked this horse.
Yeah.
I guess, but I don't know. I don't know, man.
No?
This horse hasn't exactly been spectacular since the comeback, has he?
He hasn't. You know, I'm going to argue that I'm going to get a good side
Well, you can't
look
use
now.
the wet track thing because he clearly likes a wet track.
Yeah, but maybe as he's getting older, he's just a little bit better on the dry.
No.
Why no?
Anthony, because here's the problem, Anthony.
Those were also 2 races off 10-month layoffs.
Anthony, you're guessing.
I don't know if I'm guessing.
No. Well, of course you're guessing. Of course you're guessing. You have absolutely nothing to base it on, other than you wanting to bring wet tracks into it, because you can't help yourself. This horse has run the best race, the best figure he's ever run
the best race of his life was on a wet
sloppy
track.
And he came back off a layoff and ran 2 credible races that are better if you use pace-based numbers. There is absolutely no, in fact, there's an indication, there's a better argument that he's a better wet track horse than he is a dry track horse. He's a better argument. Anthony,
but hold on a second.
We're handicapping, not making things up.
Just hold on 1 second. If you look at the one best number, yes, his best number's on a wet track. It also came 15, 16 months ago.
So you must have gone back and tell me about all those other wet track races since you looked at his lifetime PBs.
I'm looking at the other 3 wet track races on his card of the 8. And it's 78, 79, and 75.
Here's the problem. The 75. Here's the problem with your argument now.
Go ahead.
That 75 figure was absolutely was congruous with the figures he was running at that time for the different connections. The argument with this horse is he improved for Chris Englehart, and getting yourself distracted with this wet track nonsense.
I don't think
it's
non-tracked, and I don't think I'm getting distracted with it.
Oh, you're completely distracted by it.
I don't.
You do it constantly, and there's nothing to back this up. We could spend the rest of the time.
We could.
You'll never understand this. This horse can win today. It's got nothing to do with the fact he was on a wet track the last 2 times.
No.
Well, you got to back it up with actual legitimate facts.
I'm trying to, and you keep interrupting every time I say it. Overall, his fast track form is better than his wet track form.
No,
you're going to say, yes, it is.
He just has more races on fast tracks, Anthony. You're just wrong. And you didn't even go back and look at his first 4 wet track races.
When he was a 3-year-old?
Oh, they don't matter.
Obviously, it's not that they don't matter, Anthony, but this horse is a different horse than he was 3 years ago.
Anthony,
you think this horse is capable right now of running 90s?
Here's the other problem. If you look at his figs on pace-based numbers in his last 2 races, they're every bit as good as the race he was running earlier. The buyer figures have him going back, but that's because they don't take pace into account. Pace-based numbers have him running every bit as well in his last couple of starts. So that belies what you're saying, too. We got too much to talk about to give him this argument. Suffice to say, he can win, but this wet track stuff is just a distraction, Anthony.
That's your opinion.
I know it is, but it's an opinion actually based on fact. We keep keeping a record of this stuff. It's just proven time and time again it hasn't come to fruition in the races we've discussed.
Let's just move on.
It constantly comes up, and the horse will run a better race on the track surface you say he's not supposed to like. Life in Shambles. I don't know what to do with this horse. Claim from Jason Service, decent numbers, claim from Service, decent numbers for Cantor Massey. I feel like this horse kind of caught lightning in a bottle last time, and I still don't trust his form.
I thought he was done, and then he comes up and runs. I mean, this horse ran last time, and this is the best race this horse has run in.
I think you were worried about him not like a wet track last time.
No, I was just worried about it. I was worried about him being done. I just thought he was a finished product. I really did. Why would I worry about his West Track numbers before last time?
You worry about nonsense. You like Hawaiian Note second. See, this horse, David's got the morning line favorite. If he runs his last race, do you really think he has a chance to hit the board in this race?
No, but I think he has a chance to improve.
He was awful last time. I mean,
he was awful and he won.
The Red Sea opened up for him top of the stretch, and there was a complete... I mean, you realize the difference between the field he's running against today and last time?
Yeah, but I also realize that there's a chance that these horses he's facing today, where I think...
But where's his good race?
I think lightning in a bottle was a good example.
Clench.
Yeah, but he's run twice now for Jason. He ran into complexity first time and missed the Dougie Fresh, and then last time he got the job done in a workmanlike manner.
Beat the mighty Sakari.
Why can't he get?
Got the Sakari.
Why can't he improve?
Would you like the Sakari a little bit?
Let me ask you a question. With Aristocratic in here, isn't he supposed to get a similar setup to last time?
Okay, here's the problem, Anthony. If you're betting horses to improve, you better not be betting the favorite.
I don't think he's going to be favored in here. I disagree with David. I don't think this horse is going to be the favorite in here.
I don't know how he's favored. The problem
I don't have morning
the problem
line,
is they
so
love him and he's coming off a win. I thought Life in Shambles would be favored.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't trust Preamble at all. And maybe Rodolfo Brissett is shipping this horse up from Florida, trying to get rid of him and somebody claim him. But this is a horse at one time had real promise. I mean, what was he doing a turf mile last time out? They shipped him all the way to Mahoning Valley.
Don't you
for
feel
that
like
sprint.
well, that was a straight 3-year-old race. Don't you feel like these horses they've lost their way with this one? I mean, so this is like the Cassie Firster.
I don't disagree.
Mahoning to Florida to New York.
I don't
to get
disagree,
to the Big A.
but I'm just kind of hoping he wakes up today because I don't trust Win with Pride. I don't like Hawaiian Noises. Life in Shambles might win. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm scared of Aristocratic.
Yeah, I'm using the Ford.
I think Aristocratic. I mean, he actually ran extremely well last time. That race he was in last time completely and totally melted down.
Eric's
and he finished,
riding well.
Got beat
He
third
cuts
place.
back to 6 today. He's supposed to just gong out
Well,
of there
he is.
and go.
I mean,
yeah.
I know the Island Wind people are not telling him to rate this guy, and I agree. It's hard to imagine he's going to get into the kind of pace tussle he got into last time.
And it's 6 instead
He's
of the 6
very,
and a half.
very dangerous in here. I probably should have picked him on top. Race number 7. Race number 7, I feel like I could have looked at for eternity. We'll take a look at Bulwark, who was very good last time. I will say that I thought the rail was an advantage. But this horse got caught into a heated pace battle and drew off. The second finisher came back to win, did improve his Beyer figure 3 points, but that horse also had a big trip in this race that we're looking at here. And Bulwark was on the inside. But there's a chance that Bulwark is very good, but from a pace standpoint, good luck to him.
Good luck. Kendrick did a great job holding position. I actually called this race, and Kendrick was scrubbing to.
You wouldn't have noticed that if you didn't call it?
What I'm saying is you remember them a lot more through the binoculars. Kendrick made sure to hold rail. He never
I know
let
somebody
the
used to say to
inside
me, I
draw
asked
go.
him if he saw the horse's trip, and he'd say, I didn't, I was watching the binoculars. They're special binoculars.
When you're watching there and you're focused on the front end, Kendrick made sure to hold rail, and he did a great job.
But there's a lot of speed in here. I mean, you've got
race.
horses like Papa Jim, Cool Boy. Cool Boy's a horse I think you almost have to throw in because he ran so big 2 races back and he just got lost to me in that race last time. And you know that they're going to be committed to going with him, but is he fast enough to clear? He is very quick.
Don't you worry about a horse like him with all the other speed in here?
Yeah, but except if somebody says to me, I know this is the fastest horse early, even if he's going to have to run fast, and I know they're committed to going.
And he's going to be 10 to 1.
And he's going to be a big race.
Yep.
I want to have him in there somewhere.
Fair enough.
I don't disagree with you. It's hard for the speed to hold on here, but as we know. And the other thing is, I don't mind the speed of the speed going too fast early. I don't want them rating them. They're never going to win rating them. They have a little bit of a chance
if you
send.
blast off and you take the girl to the dance that brought you there, I agree.
I
agree.
think your horse, who I have second, Bustin' Hoffman, ran great last time. He and, frankly, Positively ran well in that race, too. Both of them were wide the whole way around the track, and that was the day you wanted to be inside and on the lead.
Yeah, I think this
this
horse is live today, and I think with all that early speed in there, he's got a chance to really work out the right trip in here today. I think he's going to be a square price, too. Like I said, we printed Monday. The morning line, I think this horse will be 6, 7
This is a
1.
race where if David comes within like a,
he
a
always
standard
does
deviation.
These wackadoo races. He always gets them like right on the button.
I know. This is a very, very,
tough
very
race.
hard. The other thing was, I mean, I'm sure he was looking and thinking, I'm going to make the entry 7-2, but what happens when one of them comes out of here? And I don't think the entry's impossible.
No.
They look a little bit over their heads, but not impossible. I can't believe it. You don't have your horse in the top 4, and I picked him on top. You know, I mean, this was one of your best selections of last year when you finished third. It's off the PPs now.
Yeah,
so he finished third like
so much.
50-1 or something. It was a crazy price. Made that run in the speed race. This is not a horse that has a problem with 6 furlongs. What he has is a problem winning. And that's a lot to do, though, with his running style. And that's the thing. There's plenty of pace in there. That's the thing. That's the
Don't you know what my other problem with him is, too? He's a little more camera friendly up at Finger Lakes.
You didn't even let me finish. Well, this horse is going to get pace to run into.
Sure.
And the reason that he has horses like him with his running style, it's tough for them to win because American dirt racing is not conducive to horses that make big runs. I actually think this horse, I don't care about his sloppy track race last time out. Went a mile the time before that in a big speed track. He actually ran in that Silver Sky final. If he runs the race, he ran 3 back. Tell me he can't win this race?
No, I'm not. But
that race,
he's got to do it.
financial stability and Silver.
He's got to do it at 6.
He's won at 6.
I know he's won.
He's got a solid record at 6.
I know he does.
He's 2 wins in 6 seconds. I don't worry about distance. I worry about pace, and he's supposed to get some pace to run into.
He's going to get plenty of pace to run into.
I'm using this horse. I think he's, and I also don't think he gets hurt by picking up Manny Franco. That was very interesting.
It's an interesting assignment.
And you left him
agree.
off. This is a very interesting race.
You used 7 horses in this race.
Very, very disappointing.
Well, my boy Morgantown, too, I picked the last 2 times.
It's a good time to give up on that horse. I've been to Morgantown. I saw the Grateful Dead in Morgantown. Yeah.
Louis Cardenas climbs aboard. They get the weight. Supposed to pay $40. I start banging my head against the wall.
You don't need that. He's just been terrible. Race number 8, the Broadway. Do you know that Broadway? I was just looking at this online. I believe it was La Verdad's first stakes win.
That's about
cool.
right.
That's cool, though, right?
Yeah.
She's a cool horse. She has a yearling now, right? The Medaglia d'Oro will be a yearling, right? Mm-hmm. I think Richie goes and visits her. Richie, of course, will be on. Richie Migliori will be on the show. Greg Wolf will be appearing in town soon. Richie will be on the show with me as well.
That's
Kept True and Cash Offer. For me, it's simply a case of a pace dynamic. Kept True ran very, very well last time, and she kind of got forced into a pace scenario because Cause of the Pause got left.
Yep.
And that put her more in front, and it set it up for Cash Offer. But I will say one thing about Cash Offer. She has turned into a new horse now that she can rate. They just feel like the right 2 horses, don't they?
Walking in yesterday, everybody, as we always get welcomed.
Everybody.
Who do you like? Well, the usual suspects. And I told them that the value of the day was to bet a few dollars on Super Ego. When they walk up to me today, I told them that they could box 2-5 in the Broadway until they shut you
Really?
out. I thought it was a cold 2-5 box. I didn't want anything else.
I like
now you have Kept True on top like I do. I know Cash Offer's record at the distance is 3 for 5 with a couple of seconds. And like you said, she's kind of a new filly since they've taken her off the pace. But I think the cut back to 6 helps Kept True more than it helps Cash Offer today.
Where's Jose Lezcano today?
Jose Lezcano is riding Wicked Trick in the General George against Firenze Fire. Rod Ortiz is actually at Laurel too. Took the day off of Gulfstream to go ride Firenze Fire. He's also
He's missing those starter allowances or something?
Jose is also riding Saguaro Row in the Run Happy Barbara Fritchie.
Kind of a weak, surprisingly weak field.
She's 9 to 5 more in line.
Well, she's probably supposed to be.
Yeah, she's supposed to be.
Very strong race, only 6.
Rail
I'm
horse,
looking forward to seeing
name.
Wicked
I like a
Trick
cold
does.
2-1. I forget Anna's something.
Anyhow, I don't know. Hayfield. We'll take a look at Hayfield. I didn't like Hayfield last time. Oh, Wicked Trick scratched.
Oh.
Linda scratched a horse. Shocking.
Probably saw Firenze Fire and said, I'm going to go home now.
Why? His last race would drown. His last race would win that race.
Yeah, it would. That was the 7/8. Well, whatever.
Maybe she decided she did not want to run.
Against Firenze Fire?
Yeah.
Can't blame
No,
us.
didn't want to run outside New York. He's done so
6
well
in a row.
I didn't love this horse last time, but I got to say, she ran last time because Puffery ran.
Yep.
The 2 and see, here's where I disagree with you. I don't think either the 2 and 5 have run that quickly to just be completely dismissive of Hayfield. I think she belongs in here.
Okay. I don't particularly care for her.
Out of Orbit's turning back. I don't love her, but she's not impossible. I don't really like Bluegrass Jamboree, but my friend Mike Beer does like her. Race number 9. Race number 9. So you've decided to go against Queen of Everything, who I think is just better than these horses.
Could be right.
She's got involved in duels and races that are falling apart, and I just think she stalks today and wins.
Yeah.
I think clever. And Jimmy Bond, look at this Jimmy Bond stat. How excited by this are you?
Great job. Ryan and Kevin do an amazing job up here in the winter. They really do.
I'm just taking a little shot. Can we get like a family picture?
I'm just taking a little. They should have a family picture, like Jimmy in the middle and the boys on either side. I just wanted a little shot with Take It All Back at a little bit of a better price, and that was it. It's
My horse?
Yeah, your horse. 7s and 9s for me.
Take It All
Maybe
Back
a little
did
5
not do
and
that
6.
much running last time. I don't know. I've got the horse in the mix somewhere. I just think if Queen of Everything shows up, didn't you? I think that Miss Ross ran a much better race than she did.
Yeah,
She broke 3/4 of a length slow. She was actually making that run at the end of the race. I think of the two, she probably did the more running of the two. I don't really care.
okay.
Where's Miss Ross's name from?
I don't know.
Seriously?
No.
Got to be Law and Order, right? Isn't that
I
Carrie
wasn't a
isn't-
Law and Order guy.
Isn't that Carrie Lowell's character's name in Law and Order? Miss Ross?
I don't know.
I believe so. All right. We done?
You know we have 5 minutes left, right?
I do. I know. But, anyway.
Any risen star opinion?
I thought Anna Dora would probably win. Thought I'd use the Mott horse who had no shot last time. The Moon Over Miami.
Moon Over
horse.
Miami. Yeah,
the
I
other
agree.
division seemed wide open. I mean, everybody keeps saying that the first division is so. These races will be on our show today. Everybody keeps saying that the first division is so much stronger.
Well, isn't he
than
in the
second.
first division? Modernist is in the second division, right? Mott has 2.
Oh, okay. Whatever race Moon Over
Yeah.
Miami's in, I like him.
He's in the first
a little
division.
bit. Everybody keeps saying the first division is much tougher than the second division. That's actually inaccurate.
You really think you don't think top to bottom it's a tougher race?
No. It's a deeper race. It's not a tougher race because Anodoro is potentially the best horse that's running in either race. So the
Fair
best
enough.
horse is in the second division, in my opinion.
No question
I
about
think the
that.
first one is much deeper.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that. It seems like it's sort of thin, the second division, and the better horses coming out of
Yeah,
the
we even
comps.
look at that differently, right? When I always feel like a race is tougher
No,
when
I
there
didn't say
are...
it's not tougher to win because you got to get by
Right.
more horses. What I'm saying to you is it's a deeper. It's a semantics
question it's a
discussion.
deeper-
It's a
yeah,
much
right.
deeper division. But I still think that Anodora would be favored in the first division if he was in there.
Oh, if the
That's what I'm
20...
saying.
Because that truculent's out. He ran last night, I
I love
think.
that name, truculence. You know what that is? It's like stubborn. It's,
yeah.
it's a great word.
It was a...
He ran in Saratoga, I want to say. Truculent.
I think
Truculent
so.
or truculent?
Did they name him after you?
Could have.
Could have.
I had
If you load the 22 of them in the same starting gate, Anodoro's 9 to 5.
my friend Steven in high school, and I haven't seen Steven in a while, but he had, those dictionary things.
Yeah.
He had the truculent for himself taken out. He was far worse than I was, believe it or not. Anyhow, those races will be part of our show later today from 6 to 7:30, and we'll get to that in a second. First of all, we got a few things to cover here. Head over to Naira Bets. We'll match up to a $200 deposit bonus using the promo code Big A. 50-50, bet at least $50 on Aqueduct and Oaklawn. Bet them on the app, and you'll get a $10 bonus. As we were saying, America's Day at the Races. I hate that name. I would have come to a different name. So
Why?
I'm not going to get into it. You know why I don't like it. Anyhow, Saturday and Monday will be on from 6 to 7:30 today. Today, we will be covering, leave it up for a second, we will be covering the Rachel Alexandra, which features British Idiom.
British Idiom versus Finite, yep.
Finite, yep. The two divisions Risen Star. We'll also be covering the El Camino Real up at Golden Gate, the Santa Monica at Santa Anita, as well as the stake, the Dixie Bell at Oak. Well, 6 races, all stakes during
Wow.
that program. Monday we'll be gone 4 to 6:30, covering races here and at Oaklawn as well, and big day there with the whatever, not the one, the Essex, whatever, the Bayakoa.
Southwest.
The Bayakoa, but there's also the one that's the stake.
For the Colts, for the
Yeah,
older horses,
yeah.
the handicap
The
race?
Razorback.
The Razorback.
Razorback, and then, of course, the Southwest as well. So a few stakes there. And what else we got? We got the Cross Country Big Five. Don't want to miss out on this. 15% takeout. Starts our 7th race here, just a little bit over an hour through the 10th at Tampa Bay.
Don't forget
Be at
the...
Tampa,
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What?
I
And also the
apologize. There it
Gotham Betting Challenge. That's the handicapping challenge. Look at that. They call it a handicapping contest. Wow, big strides. Saturday, March 7th. $500 entry fee, limit 2 per person. You can qualify for the Gotham Challenge at horsejourneys.com as well. Pre-register naira.com/challenge, and you can play, as you mentioned yesterday, online
Yeah.
as well as on track. $500 buy-in, I think half for your betting,
Half to the bankroll, half to the
and
prize pool.
towards the prize pool.
There was Rajiv and Haikal on the screen. Rajiv's cousin Romero
Cousin
going to
Romero's
start
coming up
riding here the
Are you
20th.
his agent?
Nope, Rudy Rodriguez Jr. is his agent. And don't forget, you can
heard
take a
by
listen to the Weekend Stakes preview
I want to bring up, go ahead. finish
presented
up.
by Naira Bets. Podcast form at horseracingradio.net. Steve Grabowski and I have 11 stakes, most of the ones Andy mentioned. I like cookie dough in the Royal.
Oh, gee, first time Safi Joseph smoked that one out?
I just think she's going to go to the lead.
Really,
today.
you think? Well, she's definitely going to lead.
She's going to be. I think she's going to be a decent price.
Oh,
too.
yeah, they never fall for those
I
first time
bet you she's
Safi
7-2.
I looked at the race and I saw first time Safi Joseph, and I thought she'd be 8-5. Rajiv, he and Angie are having a baby.
Congratulations to
I'm not congratulating. I
Angie
congratulated him by
Mirage.
text. I got nothing.
Got nothing back?
I got nothing.
No, you got to do it on social media.
I got nothing.
You come back with the thanks,
I
Mom.
wanted to be more personal about it.
Yeah, but he likes to be on social
He
media.
gets nothing from. I'm done with him. I'm going to root against
Well,
his
you have another
cousin,
Mirage
the whole
coming, so
family.
we're
They're
good.
all out. They're all out. I'm going
No.
to torture the kid.
Have you met
until
Romero?
Raj. I don't know. Is he as big a jerk as Rasheed?
Romero's a sweetheart. I'm glad to have a Mirage here with me in the
That's why I
winter.
said I know you.